last few days we've been sort of inside when we're not working. Today is a very nice fall afternoon out here. So the Oliver's still down. We're waiting on the bearing to fix that. So once that comes, we'll throw it back together. But today I thought I'd go for a drive on the old Ford 9N. So like I said, it's rained for the last few days, so it's been quite muddy. So let's go see if we can find some mud. Those ruts are quite deep. that mud's pretty deep. Like there's a, like they're probably 1.5 feet deep. So I'm not hung up. I'm not high centering or anything. Oh, I'm starting to sink. What's happening is the tires, the tread in the tires is getting so full of this sticky mud that they're smooth. So it's not getting any grip to dig, and I just can't bump it up onto the dry. So it's very close. It's trying to ram it up there. It's quite a bit deeper over here. It's hard to tell from the camera, but that is quite a bit deeper. Even the ruts on this side are quite a bit deeper. But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna matter if I backed up and tried to straddle the ruts. Maybe I'll try that, because I can back through and then I can straddle the ruts and maybe it'll hold me up a little bit better. Man, it's not gonna be easy though, because that tree's in the way. I have been meaning for years to come and take that tree out of there. So it just makes it a pain in the butt to go around. Not so much with the tractor and stuff, but when you're trying to go through here with a truck, when it's not quite so deep, the mud, when it's dried up, that gets in the way from the cab and stuff, or even the loaders with the cabs on them. But yeah, anyways, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I may just try to hit this a couple more times. I may try to get back and straddle that a bit if I can get around that tree. Let's see what happens. right, that worked out. That wasn't too bad. I backed all the way back out. I did try to straddle it, but there just wasn't enough room, and it's so slippery, it just threw me right back in it. So I just decided to give it the throttle and see what happens. The mud did get thrown out of the tire treads, so I was able to get a bit more of a grip because I had already made some ruts here, and it was able to climb up over top of there, and we're out. So anyways, let's carry on with our drive. Well, shortly after this, the old girl started to spit and sputter because I was running out of gas, so I just beat it back for the truck, and I did just make it back there. But yeah, anyways, a few days later, well, I did it again. I was looking at the auction, and this tractor came across as a 8N Ford tractor. So I bought it sight unseen. It says it hasn't run for a couple of years, but there's really not much to these tractors, so we're sure we can get it going. As we came, and Victor came with me to pick it up, and as soon as he looked at it, he says, that is a 2N tractor. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that. I got it for like a little bit more than scrap price, probably. But we're going to see if we can get it going anyways, and see how it is. First thing we did is check the coolant. There's coolant in it. That's a good sign. Check the oil. Oil's good. It's in the safe operating range. Perfect. We'll see if it has any gas in it. The battery, we're sure, is probably dead. Okay, battery's dead.
No, it's unhooked.
Oh, battery's unhooked. Might have a little bit of juice in it. Gas. In terms of gas, we have no gas. There's a little bit in the bottom of the tank there, but we require more. So I did bring a can of gas. We'll dump that into it. We'll hook the battery up. We'll hook the battery up and see if it has any juice, actually. Let's see that now. Well, it tried to try, so that's not bad for that battery sitting in there for, well, I assume it's been there for a couple years too. We'll hook the service truck onto it, give it a boost, see if it wants to start. Also, this is still on a 6-volt system. So you've got the 6-volt generator here, and that's a 6-volt battery. So we can boost it off 12, but Victor says we need to wait until we're ready to hit the ignition because we don't want to cook anything off of it sitting there with 12 volts feeding into it. So he's just taking a look at some things, and then we'll hook the cables on, see if it wants to spin over. So Victor just pulled out the universal tractor fluid dipstick, and that is, well, that looks brand new. It's a little low, as he said, but it's basically looks brand new. Looks like this tractor was taken care of. It must have just been sitting, it looks like he was even sitting inside. But it is difficult to tell. So like I said, I just bought it from an auction, sort of sight unseen. It was an online auction. Sort of accidentally bought it, really. I just sort of clicked on it and then realized I won it, but yay. Oh. Making sure there's fuel flow. Yep. Perfect. So we got gas flowing through it. And it was gas coming out of it, so we just want to make sure there was no water sitting in the bottom of the tank. And yeah, we're just going to let some of the old gas run out of it here. And then make sure we put some fresh start in, give it the best chance of starting. Oh, Victor just pulled off the air filter. It's an oil bath filter, so that's something that needs a bit of attention. So we'll make sure we put some fresh oil in that before we fire it up here. Well, fire it up very long anyways. So that goes on the bottom of there. Just putting the fresh oil in the oil bath filter back on. Good sign here is when we turn the key, the amp gauge does move. If I can turn the key again, there we go. The amp gauge does move. So that's a good sign. It means the points are doing things. So maybe we won't have to dig into the points.
Don't leave
But
it turned on.
yeah, exactly. Leave the key turned on. Because if we leave the key turned on, it will burn the coil out of it. Victor knows he has done that in the past. Not on purpose, but, you know, things happen sometimes. He right now is just trying to clean off the serial tag because he wants to see the numbers, which, well, we'll see if we can see anything. But yeah. So looking at the serial number on the motor, it says it's a 9N. So either the motor is from a 9N and it's been changed at some point, or these rods here have been changed because those are from a 2N, that style. Yeah, my limited knowledge about it anyways is telling me that. So yeah, so anyways, the serial number says it was 1940, and the serial number on that 9N says it was also built in 1940. So yeah, if anyone knows more about them than I do, please let me know. Because, yeah, either it's a 9N and some parts have been swapped on it from a 2N, or it's a 2N and some parts have been swapped on it from a 9N, or there's just a lot I don't know, and someone may be able to tell me different. But anyways, regardless, we're going to get it started. I just cleaned out the sediment bowl there. Yeah, so everything's sort of pointing toward that it's a 9N, and it just has the rods on it from a 2N. That must have been changed at some point. But anyways, that's fine. So one of the main differences that you'll find in a 2N from a 9N is 2Ns were built in wartime around World War II. So they were sort of rationing rubber. So they had steel wheels on them, steel wheels on the back and steel wheels on the front. And they would also be a crank start. So I kind of got excited when we thought it was a 2N when we first walked up to look at it, because I was going to try to find some steel wheels and stuff for it and sort of restore it back to what it should have been. But now that we have a 9N, that's fine. Now I have two 9Ns, and I may do something with this 9N, but we'll see. Anyways, let's get it running for now, and we'll go from there, see how it operates. All right, hooked the gas line back up to the carburetor, about to hook to the booster cables, and yeah, I spilled a little bit of gas on top of the battery because that's just very convenient positioning, but I'm sure it'll be fine. What's the worst that'll happen? And booster cables are on. He's just going to turn the switch on to the truck to feed the power to here. We'll hit the button and see if it wants to fire. Find neutralis. Well, that sounded energetic. Come on. Really? Well, this may be a shorter video than I thought it was going to be. But we'll see. Oh, there he goes, yeah. But we'll see. We'll let it run here for a few minutes, and then maybe we'll test it out. We should test and see if the generator's charging the battery. It is? You can see? Okay. So the generator is charging the battery, so hopefully that's a decent battery. Victor is checking the oil pressure line. So what Victor was checking there was the gauge didn't move, the oil pressure gauge didn't move when we checked it, so he fired it up there. He just wanted to pull that off and make sure it actually was pumping oil. And it is. But maybe we wanted it to be pumping more oil, but we'll see. Like I said, we'll let it run for a little while here. But man, that is running really well. So we're running for a few minutes here. The oil pressure gauge has come up. And there's a little spider friend there running for his life. But anyway, must have just had to fill the canister. Here's Victor's assumption. So that's good. 3-point hitch. Works well.
Yeah, there's a cap.
Yeah, there's a cap on the PTO of this. Let's take that off to be the PTO under there, obviously. So yeah, it's actually a decent little tractor. Let's fire this 9N up, and then we'll once that's warmed up over there, we'll go for a little drive. We'll let Victor drive that, and I'll video him. I'll ride this. So let's get this fired up. Just come around the other side here, turn on the fuel. And I should just be able to turn the key. Actually, we do disconnect the battery on this too. Should be able to turn the key, pull the choke, make sure it's in neutral. It does actually have a neutral safety switch. That's the only safety feature that's on these tractors, is it will not let you push the button when it's not in neutral. But anyways, let's fire it up. And that was a cold start. Hasn't been running for a while. Oh, you know what I did forget about this is I ran out of gas last time I was on it. So I'm gonna dump a can of gas in this one as well. And filling it up. That one's still running flawlessly over there. All right, fueled up. Let's try this, take 2. All right. So we're gonna let this old girl warm up for a few minutes. Then we'll go for a ride. Well, it moves. That's a good sign. This one doesn't have a high and low range, whereas this one does. That is the high and low range selector on this. But anyways, let's go catch up to Vic. Just over here doing donuts. Alright, we're coming up on the swamp crossing here. Well, swamp crossings, rather. So we'll see how that does. This should be considerably easier to go through since I've made some ruts with the other tractor. But he's gonna try to straddle them. I don't think he's gonna do it. Oh yeah, no problem. So I'll come through on the other 9N and then we'll keep going. Not a problem. Let's carry on. We'll go catch Vic. Oh, he's hiding over there in the trees, actually. Well, let's carry on. So this is where we were with the Oliver, the Clee track, or the Oliver crawler. And I was able to get right out there. Let's drive ahead. Victor's gone around there. Oh, he sees me. Let's see how far I can go out there before I start to sink. I don't want to sink the tractor, but just sort of as reference so you can see.
Get up onto that knoll, see if you can turn that way.
Good idea. I'm going to get up on that knoll and see if I can turn that way.
It'll go further forward than backwards.
Let's see how this goes. Let's go further into the swamp.
It looks drier over there.
I'll go low range, second gear. See how that works.
It looked harder.
So see if I can back out there and maybe make a run for there.
Yeah, that's about knee high.
Well, we got the point across. Were you showing the depth?
Yeah.
All right, back on harder ground. I wouldn't say hard ground, but range. We just made sure the low ranges were actually the same speed. We're gonna have a race. I'm gonna race Victor up to between those two trees. I'll be in high range, he'll be in, well, the only range he has, which is, you know, slow range. High range in. All right, so this tractor will not take off in third high range. I'll have to take off in second high range. Takes off there, no problem. Then I'll have to shift, and hopefully I can still beat Victor. But let's see. On your mark and check, go. Come on, baby, she's gaining speed. I had to slow down and put on some big bumps here. Yeah, that is quite a bit quicker. See if I can get on the smooth side here. Woo! Once you build speed, it goes. Holy crap. I kicked in the clutch there after I passed Victor because I was just flying. But yeah, anyways, that's third range. Third gear high range. So yeah, let's get going back to the trucks now before we break something or hurt ourselves. Alright, we're back in the trucks in the shutdown procedure. Shut off the fuel. Bit of throttle. Then we let them run out of fuel so there's no gas sitting in the carburetors. But yeah, I do love these little tractors. They are great little tractors. Victor has a couple himself. He loves them as well. They're very reliable. They do what they're supposed to. They do what they're supposed to. And they're just fun to drive around, really. They're good at pulling wagons. You can pull little trees and stuff out of the woods with them. They're good little workhorses. So yeah, if you have a little bit of property, you're not sure what to get, I would recommend you pick yourself up a 8N, 9N, or even a 2N. But anyways, we're gonna let these die. It's taking a while because they're very fuel efficient. Wow, they died at the exact same time. Look at that. Anyways, all right, guys, thanks for watching.